had no idea what to expect. Just like anybody else who comes into corrections, I had no idea what to expect at all. When I came here, like, there was a piano on the stage, and we got some gear, and I had already been doing studio stuff, so I knew how to program, and I knew what the guys wanted. So I figured I'd start tailoring it to what would make a good music program 25 years ago.
I really didn't know a lot about the music theory program. I knew we had one, and then when I went down there and, you know, started talking to Dante and actually reviewing the class and seeing what they were capable of, I was shocked, and I was like, wow, there's something special that's going on here. And it only just reinforced my idea that having a concert at Garden State was the right time and the right thing to do.
From day one, the program started filling up. So I immediately had guys that wanted to learn. So as soon as I found out who did what, I gave them what they needed. You know, guitar. I play a little bit of guitar. I put a guitar in a kid's hand. But the only thing that really gets in the way is when I realized, you know, I could be doing this, you know, for 2 months with a guy, and he might be gone. He might be shipped, or he might go home, or God forbid, lockup or whatever.
Back up. It may sound like it's down, but you're going right back up.
You know, everybody that is doing something in here, they're doing it on a different level from when they came in, and they know it. And so I think that I don't know what they're saying up on the housing units and stuff, but I would imagine they're proud of that.
Outside, open your doors for passive rec. To somebody who knows somebody who is incarcerated or is incarcerated, you expect that you're just going to be put in a room and that's it. You're left there. You might have a Bible in your room, but other than that, you know, you're just doing your time.
I do sometimes hear when I talk about work outside, you know, the walls here, that, you know, they believe that they're convicts, and, you know, there's people that don't think that they deserve all the programming and services that are provided, you know, within the department. However, most of these gentlemen, specifically here at Garden State Correctional Facility, are going to be going back to society very shortly. Would you rather have them go back to your community as more of a criminal element, or more as somebody that's received some kind of programming and training in something so they could be a successful member of society?
These programs are important because it has the ability to help them develop skill sets and coping skills that they're going to need when they return back to their community. And in some cases, this may be the first time that they're fully exposed to an educational program where someone is deeply invested in their academic outcome. So these programs have the ability to be life-changing for them.
I've been blessed to be able to have this program, to be able to get my hands on an instrument, actually learn the instrument.
I support all forms of liberal arts program, but I'm especially proud of the band that we have at Garden State, because it is a program where as the students and the teacher see themselves in a period of time where they do not even think about their incarceration.
To leave these surroundings and actually go to music class every day, it's like something I look forward to Monday to Friday. Like, I get dressed, get ready, brush my teeth, and go to the door, because we're locked in at the time. And they say, like, music class in session. That's all I want to hear. But the other days it says music class, independent study. I'm like, oh man, independent study means stay in your room, do what you gotta do. But yeah, when I hear them say in session, this is, my day starts.
Before I even got locked up, I was thinking like, yo, I wouldn't even make it to be 16. You know, living, you know, come from New Jersey, Camden, New Jersey. It was like, you know, every day you hear something on the news. Being in here, you know, I try to think of all the things or try to worry about the now. So going to high school, finishing high school, being a TA. Then after that, going to college, and now I'm finishing college. and all the things that I've learned in between, going to all the programs and stuff like that, I try to be hopeful.
When you have somebody like Dante, where it's 100% genuine and he truly cares about these young men, coupled by the fact that he is a man. For some of them who didn't have a connection with their father, this is the first time where a male is saying, I really care about you, and I want to see, you know, the absolute best for you. Again, that's life-changing for them, because if you never had it and to finally have it, it has the ability to inspire you, give you hope, to remind you that you are somebody.
From the bottom of my heart, I'm screaming pain, baby. Why did you do that to me? Don't go together.
What's the chorus and what's the verse?
When he know that he sees something in you, he's gonna pull it out of you. And from the moment that we met, we clicked simply because of the fact that I love for music. He always, whenever he see me, he smiled, he waved his hand. It's like you acknowledged me as a person.
Mr. C treats every student the same. He treats everybody with respect. And on the other side of that, he also expects you to reciprocate that.
Me being a bass player and him being a professional bass player, I guess he kind of wanted to like teach me more what he knows. And learning from him helped me build like a musician bond, I guess you could call it, I guess. Like a mutual respect. I respect him, let's put it that way.
The guys that are learning the studio are learning all the technical parts of what compression is, what equalization is, and all the science behind it. And then how to make music with it. How to take that science and apply it to an art and make it sound good. So I think that they're all leaving here aware of the high level that they're reaching.
I lose my identity, man. I lost it a few times throughout, throughout my life. Either being physically abused, when I was a child, to, just going from house to house. I didn't really have no stability. And the moment that I did, unfortunately, it just kept being taken away. So I didn't really have no stability. I couldn't find who I was as a person. I started singing probably the moment I knew how to, I opened my mouth, probably around the age of 3. I started singing in churches probably when I was 5. I used to sing at Wayne Avenue Baptist Church. Singing really is like therapy for me. When I'm stressing, even when I don't know that I'm stressing, I start singing, it comes out.
I think another teacher said, I got a kid that wants to be in music class. He was young. Ben has been with us a long time. But with a talent like that, you don't need to be a music teacher to see that. Because that kid has an incredible ear. He does not sing out of tune.
Beautiful, remarkable, greatest brother when I first met you. And when you said you loved, you stole my heart. You could have known that it'd be you. I can't deny, baby, I'm so in love with you. That's why it isn't hard for me to say, babe, it's you. It's you.
It's funny saying this, but the bonds themselves that have been created between myself, Ben, our singer, Story, and his poems, and just Richard, the bass player. Those three guys alone, I mean, I've formed bonds with them that I didn't have with some of my best friends out there.
Making decisions together, real decisions together, brings you closer than just, and I've learned this here, brings you closer than just friendship. It's, you know, it's not just saying I'm his friend. We make the decision on this together. I'll teach this guy this today. You guys take care of that. There's so much decision making going on here and so much working together.
The band, in my eyes, is more like my brothers. Is my brotherhood. Is you know what I'm saying? We keep each other strong. We check up on each other. So the idea of not having a band there, I'm not gonna lie, it's gonna be hard to deal with. It's gonna be hard to deal with. I know I can get through it, but it's gonna be hard to deal with.
Oh man, yeah, Ben. He's one of the first people I kind of met in the chapel that got me associated with my start with choir. Without Ben, I don't think I'd be in a choir. Without the choir, I wouldn't be in music class and so on and so forth, you know. So he'd be like the glue that holds it all together. So him leaving, no, I'm gonna say I'm gonna miss him, but yeah, I'm gonna miss him a little bit, you know.
I've had dozens and dozens of guys that, when it's getting close, tell me things like, man, I know this is crazy because this is jail, but I almost don't want to leave. They're learning a skill that they know they have to pay for when they go home. Ben is one of them. Ben was having a terrible time walking out that door, especially these last couple days.
As dark as the nights may be, and as the worlds may seem, I know there's somebody who can hear my cries and save us. I'm screaming freedom, yeah. Stay strong, don't you give up. Be not afraid, just light up ahead. If you hear these words, then you are not dead.
The things that he accomplished while he was behind the wall here at Garden State was he finished his associate's degree, and it was time for Ben to kind of move on with his incarceration and move on to the next phases, which meant that he had to go out to full minimum camp.
When I went back to the tier from making the music with Mr. C, the CO told me that, hey, you're going to the full minimum unit from the minimum unit that I was living in already.
He started working in our dep corps setting.
It was nerve-wracking. I didn't really understand, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, dang, this is gonna be the last time I sing with my guys. The last time me and Mr. C make music, last time going to the music room, it messed me up.
So right there, when you go out to the full minimum camp, you know, you go out, you're outside these walls, you don't come back in here necessarily because you're starting to go work out in the community and possibly going out to a halfway house.
But at the same time, everybody was just like, hey, it's your chance, it's your moment. Go, man. Go, like, you know what I'm saying? Go, like, you know what I'm saying? This is your chance to start new. It was like, if anybody else is in your shoes, they'll go. But when I got around my guys, it was a lot of hugging, a lot of, bro, I love yous, and keep your head up, stay focused, don't lose sight, you know, and, you know, it was just a lot of hugs, you know what I'm saying? I miss yous already, you know, we kept saying, I miss you already, bro, like, we know you're gonna do something, I see you out there, we're gonna have a good time, et cetera, et cetera.
I know that it was a hard decision for Ben and, you know, to fill his shoes, but ultimately later on, as he was in a full minimum setting, we did have a graduation here where Ben was gonna finally be acknowledged for getting his associates at a graduation.
Yeah, it is a big day. I can't. It was more than I imagined. You know what I'm saying? Able to see my mom and You know, I ain't seen her in a minute.
We are very proud of your accomplishments, your ability to stick and stay through tough times, but making that commitment to stay focused on your education. To the families of the graduates, we appreciate your support. They would not be here without your support, so let's give the families a round of applause.
We came up with a plan where Ben would have one more chance to sing here for graduation.
Thank you very much. So we have a little something special planned for you, and before we do it, I just want to thank custody and the administration for letting me push my luck in making this happen, because they literally moved mountains to make what's about to happen. So here we go.
Like the music program, it reminded us that we can have goals, that we can have dreams, and nonetheless that we are somebody, and if we focus, we could do anything.
I'm hoping that Dante Coluccio remains with the department and continues, because he's an excellent music teacher, and I would like to see that tradition continue on and have the music theory program only grow and kind of find more Bens out there and give more people an opportunity and that sense of accomplishment where they can move on and hopefully, you know, reintegrate back in society and be successful.
When you become incarcerated, you almost have to rebrand yourself when you leave so that people believe that the brand that went in is different from the brand that's coming out. And for a lot, that can be challenging, particularly if they haven't done the work. And doing that work is an investment in yourself. And in investing in yourself, it becomes an investment that we as in the community get to benefit from.
Ben knew in his adult mind that he had to leave this behind and go out and start saving money. So, I mean, his game plan is there. He's thought it all through. He's got his little book of steps that he's going to take to get there. You know, it would be nice to know that he's got a place to go and somebody to help.